Hello and welcome to a DFS strategy video for the 2022 Tour Championship. My name is Eric and here at SweetSpotDFS, it's all about trying to hit the optimal lineup every single week. Usually I like to do a preview video before the strategy video going over the golf course, the tournament information, as well as the buckets. But this week I just didn't think there was a reason to. Primarily because of how unique this tournament is. Since 2019, it has implemented a staggered start. If you have no idea what that means, I'll throw it on the screen. Your number one golfer in the FedEx Cup rankings starts at -10. And then it goes down from there. It staggers from there. So Patrick Cantlay starts at -8. He's number 2 in the FedEx Cup. And it goes down from there. All the way down to your last ranked guy is even par. Don't mind the advertisements. I have no control over that. But your last 4 guys in the field start at even par. So they're 10 shots behind Scottie Scheffler. And with that, DraftKings and FanDuel have also created very unique salaries. So your top price guy, Scottie Scheffler, is $13,600. Patrick Cantlay is $13,000. Whereas the guys at the bottom of the list, like Aaron Wise, he's $5,000 some dollars, $5,400, I think. So there's a very unique way of building lineups this week. Also, it goes without saying, there are only so many combinations you can actually build because of all the salary restrictions and the fact that there's only 30 golfers in the field. You can only make so many lineups. So you're going to have to get really unique. And that's why I didn't go over a preview, because this event, in my opinion, for all DFS contests is strictly strategy. And I get it. You can make that argument for all other events, but usually you have 156 golfers. Some of them are just dart throws. This, I think you want to be more disciplined and a little bit more constructed when building your lineup. So in the strategy video, we're going to go over past optimal lineups, past GPP winning lineups. We'll also go over the buckets that I have created for this event. And we're really going to only look from 2019 and forward. I do have the ability to look backwards, so we can kind of mess around with that. Yeah, it's going to be strategy. So we'll go over marquee tee times because those worked last year at this event, believe it or not. And we'll talk more about that, just how weird that is because of how unique this event is. But we'll obviously get there. We'll go over the sweet spot ranks because those will be used in the optimizer, which I'm also providing this week. And if you want access to that, you got to email me at sweetspotdfs@gmail.com and also leave a comment down below. If you need a topic, just give me your 2 favorite golfers that you're going to build your lineups around this week, and it's as simple as that. Now, I'm only going to build a couple lineups at the end just to give you an idea of the lineup construction. But again, we're going to go strictly over strategy, review 2019 and on, everything that we possibly can to help you find the right choices and hopefully hit the optimal lineup this week. So before we get into any of that, there is a giveaway to run. Now, you see on the screen, the goal was to get to 450 subscribers. I was going to give away $30. We reached that goal. So thank you for all that participated. We overshot that goal by obviously 5 subscribers, which is wonderful because I will continuously have these subscriber giveaways even throughout the next season. And just trying to grow this channel slowly, or really not slowly, I'm just trying to grow it as quick as possible and reward you guys for participating on this channel. So again, I highly appreciate, not highly, I greatly appreciate all your guys' contributions, obviously subscribing, all that good stuff. There were quite a bit of entries. Let me go ahead and throw this down. So we ran our last giveaway right after the Rocket Mortgage Classic. So this starts anew at the Wyndham Championship. And from the Wyndham Championship preview video, going all the way down to the BMW last week, we had 75 entries. And if you wanted an entry into this giveaway, you had to be subscribed first of all. So if you aren't subscribed and you want to get in these giveaways in the future, you got to subscribe. So just so you guys know. And then to get an entry, you also have to participate on the channel. Basically, all you got to do is comment on any of my videos that I post, every single week, or you can go on Twitter and retweet any of the videos that I post there. That gets you an additional free entry. when I do 3 videos a week, a preview, a strategy, and a prize picks video, when I do, yeah, those 3, plus you have the opportunity to use Twitter, you can get up to 4 free entries a week. Some of the people on here pretty much took advantage of that. Now, I, unfortunately, the last few weeks really weren't doing a prize picks video, and sometimes I did a preview / strategy video, so there was no way to get 4 entries that way. But some of the guys didn't even miss a single day, so we have some people in here that have 7+ entries. With that being said, I should say, without further ado, let's go ahead, let's do this. I'm just going to click this to a Y, and we're going to see who the winner is. I should probably get a drum roll for this piece. I think that would be great. Here's your winner. Shot Like Harden. That's awesome. Shot Like Harden is a person who has supported this channel for a very, very long time. I would probably say, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you've been here since before 100 subscribers. So I greatly appreciate Shot Like Harden for always participating on this channel. It's awesome to see that you won. So let's go ahead and put you in the past winners. You can see that Shot Like Harden won back in January. So it's been a while. Alrighty. So we'll give this away, $30, Shot Like Harden. However you'd like me to pay you, let me know. Whether that's Venmo, PayPal, Google Pay. I just don't have anything Apple related, so let me know. I forget the last time I gave it to you, so give me those details through an email and I will get you the $30. So we will go ahead, remove all these guys, and start anew during the next time that I do a video. Now, like I said, subscriber giveaways will always be goal oriented. We're always trying to get more and more subscribers. So if you want an opportunity to win in any giveaways going forward, just continue to, well, not so much continue, but subscribe to this channel and continue to participate on the channel. Now, okay, so I would typically say we'll run another giveaway, but since there's a 2-week break after the Tour Championship, I'm just gonna start new giveaways during the next time I go live. Now, I'm gonna also provide some news a little bit later in this video, kind of going over my schedule for the next month. I'm not sure how many videos I'll be doing, so we'll see how the giveaways work out. But if you want to see that news, go check out the end of the video. But I'm not going to post any new giveaways today. But just know, we're always trying to reach a goal. I guarantee you the next subscriber giveaway, the goal will be 500 subscribers. Just have a hunch that that's going to be it. And it's going to be worth $50. That first week will be worth $50. So, hey, let's get us as close to 500 as we possibly can, because the next time that I do go live or I do a video, it's going to be worth $50. So the closer we can get to 500, the easier we're going to hit that goal. So that will probably be the next goal. We didn't have a prize picks giveaway, but I can always throw this up there because there is a link in the description that'll get you to the sign up page. And if you sign up on prize picks using the promo code SweetSpot and put at least $20 in your account, I will give you your $20 back. So it's like a refund. Prize picks will also match your deposit up to $100. So that $20 turns into $40. And it really just costs you that sign up information and the initial deposit of $20. But again, prize picks will match your deposit up to $100. So you can go ahead and put $100 in. I'm still going to give you $20 back. So again, it's a refund. Link in the description. Once you go to that link, you don't even have to put in the promo code SweetSpot. Just go to sign up and it'll already populate it in the promo code. So all you gotta do is click on that link and then sign up, put $20 in your account at minimum. That's it. Easy as that. And this will always be a thing. It doesn't matter if I'm doing videos or not. If you do sign up using that promo code, I will give you your $20 back the very next day. So just so you know that, again, link in the description below. Now, some other giveaways that I am providing, the cheat sheet. The cheat sheet is available. There's a link in the description. Once you go to that cheat sheet, all I ask you to do is go up to the file menu and make a copy. As I go through this, I'm going to be using filters. You can see on this, well, you might not be able to because it's kind of small font, but it says DraftKings. That is a filter. When I put this filter on, we can sort by anything that we want to. Go ahead and just get rid of this out. But you can filter through any of this stuff, but the only way you can do that is by making a copy. And if you do follow along with me, it's going to be very useful for you to do just that, because everyone has read access now. Making a copy allows you to edit it, modify it however you like. So again, make a copy of that. And I will also be providing the optimizer, everything that I go over with the buckets. It's already loaded into the conditionals. So are the marquee tee times. So everything that I talk about in this video is already implemented right here on this optimizer. You will need the full access of Microsoft Excel in order to use this. So if you do have that and you're interested in it, be subscribed, comment down below, contact me right there, SweetSpotDFS@gmail.com. That way you can get access to the optimizer, and just send me a simple email saying, hey man, I like to use the optimizer, and I'll send it your way. I'll verify your credentials that you send me to see if you are a subscriber and that you have participated on this channel. So if you haven't done that, I will be asking for your participation. And we will also be going over this optimizer at the end of the video, so you get to see everything that I like to do on the optimizer. So those are the giveaways: the cheat sheet, prize picks, and then the optimizer. No subscriber giveaway just yet, but remember, we're gonna get there with, you know, the next time we do videos. 500 subscribers will be the goal. So if you're not yet subscribed, please do so. Okay. So like I said, this is just gonna be strictly strategy. We're gonna go over past optimal lineups. We'll do that after we go over the SweetSpot score, as well as the marquee tee times, because it kind of makes sense to do it that way. We'll also tie in the buckets with this and all that other good stuff. So the #1 golfer in my model this week is actually Patrick Cantlay. If I actually sort this by salary, you're going to see that Scotty Scheffler is at the top of this. Obviously 13,600, but he's my 7th ranked golfer in this field. And I am using the score here just in a very minor way. So I'm giving boosts to those that have a better score. Remember, this is a DraftKings contest. Yes, positional points matter, but they really only matter for the first place guy. I shouldn't even say it that way. There are only 30 golfers in this field, so I believe everyone is guaranteed to get at least 4 points from positional place. I think it's something like that. See, it's 1 point for 40 to 50th. I think it's 2 points from 30th to 40th. So maybe it's 3 points. They're almost guaranteed to get 3 points. Check the DraftKings scoring just to see what that is. And then when you go up, so like first place is worth 30 points. Second place is worth 20 points. Third place is worth 18. Then it goes like 18 to 16 to 14 to 12 to 10. And it's like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 until whatever. Those points will matter, but there is a point where they kind of get mitigated based off of how many birdies someone scores. So if you have someone that might be 5 shots behind someone or 5 places behind someone, they might only get like 5 points when the other guy gets 10 points for his positional place. But the guy that got 5 points might have 3 or 4 more birdies than the other guy. 3 birdies is 9 points. You know, like, so it's still worth having more birdies than positional place. You do want to find the winner. I say that every single time I'm on a podcast. The most important person to pick is the winner. And I get it, it's not always easy, but it's much easier this week than it would be any other week because we have this staggered scoring. And we haven't seen anyone win this tournament who wasn't. Rory won this in 2019, starting at 5 under par. The last 2 years, 2021, Patrick Cantlay was your leading scorer heading into it, so he was at -10, and I believe in 2020, Dustin Johnson started at -10 as well. So the guy who came in this tournament leading the FedEx Cup, who got that -10 starting score, went on to win. 2019 is the year where that actually changed. So if I went to total score here, Rory started at -5. Xander started at -4, and JT was your leader going into that. He still finished third. The difference between third and second is only 2 points. Not a big deal. But the difference between first and second is 10 points. Finding the winner matters. And we'll go over some of these salary constructions in 2019 and 2018. But I just want you guys to understand that basically picking the winner is a bit easier this week than any other week. And I think you either start Scotty or you start Patrick Cantlay. I don't think there's any other reason to not choose one of these guys. My rankings will tell you to choose Patrick Cantlay over Scotty Scheffler, but in all reality, the only strategic reason why you probably pick Scheffler over Cantlay is because he'll probably be lower owned because he's $600 more. He does have that 2-shot advantage, obviously, and he's pretty good on Bermuda. So I wouldn't just discount Scheffler because of my ranking. I will be building lineups with both of these guys. Not both of them together in lineups, but definitely I'll be doing Scotty lineups. I'll be doing Patrick Cantlay lineups. I might even skip past those two and go to Xander, but it's probably unlikely. I just think these two guys get it done, and those first place points will matter. So that's kind of my strategy thinking about this. But going back to the Sweet Spot ranks, if I go ahead and sort this, you're going to see Patrick Cantlay is my number 1 guy, followed by Rory McIlroy, number 2, then Xander, then Jon Rahm. So a lot of capable guys in the $10,000 range. Justin Thomas, number 6, $9,400. He's going to be consideration. Now, if you're interested in how I got to these rankings, I included the points that you see right here. I'm not going to go over all of these because I usually talk about them every single week. But we're looking at official world golf ranking. Then we're looking at, I shouldn't say bent, it should say Bermuda here. But I'm looking at Bermuda grasses. Overall average from 2013 and on, forward I should say. Their top 10 success rate from 2013 to present day. Full year of this last year with Bermuda grass. Might as well just make these up. So these are the grass stats that I'm using, and I'm actually, so the better a golfer is in these stats, the closer they get to 50 points. Usually these stats I'd get to 100, but I'm watering down the grass stats by 50%, by half. You can ignore grass too. We're looking at tournament history, which is really course history. Your best golfers have 50 points there. Season log, birdie, bogey avoidance, birdie or better, driving distance, then recent form, DraftKings points, recent form, or their finishing position, average finishing position, and then their average scoring, which is round by round scoring, and then these season long stats. And you can see I added the starting score, which is really taking their starting score, multiplying it by -10, giving them like, a 10 point. Well, Scotty Scheffler gets 100 points. So it scales based off of their score. That obviously equals up to here. Some of these guys are super close to each other. Do we not have this actually? Wondering what happened here. Oh, I bet you I have to update the rankings. They're going to be really close. Some of these actually have to change. Like this one needs to leapfrog over ones. So that might be Scotty Scheffler, by the way. Actually, these ones. Guarantee that's Scotty Scheffler. Yep. So Scotty Scheffler actually moves up to number 4 in my model. 4, and then it goes down. Okay, so he goes to 4, 5, 6, 7. He goes to 2. Goes to 3. Let's see if that was correct. Yep. Easy. Okay, so now I reshuffled it. Patrick Cantlay is number 1, Xander's number 2, then Rory's number 3. And that's including the starting score with the rest of those points, which all makes sense. Now, this gets us into, oh, by the way, these points are all set up right here in the optimizer. The optimizer uses the metric. This is where the rankings are based off of, so it provides the most optimal lineup based off of the sweet spot score. You can alter this however you'd like. So if you get the optimizer, you can change some of these if you like certain players more. But the other thing that the sweet spot score goes into are the marquee tee times. So basically, I rank these. Now this actually changes because I forgot to up that's fine. So Cantlay and Scotty Scheffler are your number 1 group, just because this total actually is lower than the other ones. Everything else looks good. So I usually like to look at the top 6 groups, and the rule is pick somewhere between 2 to 4 golfers from these marquee tee times, and they're based off of, groups of 2. So you want to grab 2 to 4, and you don't want to grab a golfer from the same group. Now, it's kind of easy this week because everyone is grouped up based off of their staggered start. So you're not going to see extremely large differences in pricing, except for like a Scott Stallings, Justin Thomas. That's a very big one, actually. $2,000. And Xander and Sam Burns. That's a big one as well. So if you're not on Xander, Sam Burns might be an actual pivot that is worthwhile to go to. Now, what I had told you earlier on in this video is that this actually applies. And I was actually skeptical because of the starting or the staggered start. It's like, yeah, I don't think that probably isn't a thing. But if you take a look, everybody that has this color, this would be your marquee tee times. And I only had, I think, 6 groups. So yeah, same thing as we have this week, 6 groups. Daniel Berger at $5,800 was in the optimal lineup. Justin Thomas at $11,000 was in the optimal lineup from last year. And John Rahm was in the optimal lineup as well at $13,000. These are the marquee tee times. It's all based off of the sweet spot score. And you can kind of see the starting score. So if we kind of like look to see if anything is similar, Colin Morikawa starting at -1 kind of can remind us of Daniel Berger or even Scotty Scheffler. Well, Scotty Scheffler wasn't in it, but Daniel Berger. Okay, never mind, because it's all price dependent. So Daniel Berger was $5,800 last year. Morikawa this year is too expensive for that. So $7,900, yeah, that's really no comparison. When it comes to the salaries, our top groups are not. There are no groups within these marquee tee times that have someone super cheap, which shouldn't be a surprise. And I do think DraftKings gets a little bit sharper with this stuff. So I think maybe we just stick to like 2 golfers to choose from. And I don't mind starting like Patrick Cantlay or Scotty Scheffler and then pairing them up with anybody. And I mean anybody. So if you want Patrick Cantlay, I don't mind if you go Patrick Xander. That's doable. I really like Patrick Rory. Those are my 2 favorite combos this week, and we'll build some lineups here at the end of the video with those combinations. But yeah, like I said, pick 2 golfers from the 6 groups that I've just highlighted. And if you wanted to go a little bit further, we could go to some of these other groups down here. Aaron Wise is playing by himself, but he slipped into the 9th ranked group. It will be interesting him playing by himself. He is my 18th ranked golfer in the field, so I kind of do like that. I just doubled his score, his sweet spot score, to come up with this group score. So he ends up being 9th in the group rank model. So if you wanted to choose, you know, out of the groups that I've just highlighted, 3 golfers, I think that's fine. 2 is probably where you want to be at, but anywhere between 2 to 4. And I actually implement this into the optimizer. I have 2 to 5. I can change this when I send it to you, but you guys can change it as well. You can go 2 to 4. You can even go 1 to 3 if you'd like. That's all built in right here. Here are all your marquee groups. They're all numbered right here for you. And then obviously I have your min max that you want to choose from. So it's all built into the optimizer. And in 2020, I can't really go by what like the marquee groups are, but we can certainly go by the game number. So you can kind of see some of these groups, and I really don't know what this was. I don't know what I was doing back in 2020. But if we look at some of these other groups, like Scotty and Joaquin Neiman were playing together, it's pretty good. Munoz and Griffin, Xander and Patrick Reed. You can see you're not finding 2 golfers from the same group in the optimal lineup. JT was down here, also in the optimal lineup, one of the last golfers to play, but then nobody else from -3 and on except for Xander. So that whole list, and obviously if we take a look at this year, and just go sort down, or actually let's go by score from here. Sorry, I forget you gotta reverse that. We're looking at everyone in here. These guys might be a bust this week. And maybe not. You know, maybe we'll find a couple guys here. It could be a completely different year than what we've seen in the past. It's totally possible. I don't know. I don't think you can write off a lot of these golfers, actually. But I think you have to make a choice here. You probably pick one. I think you need to pick one, right? Every single year we've seen one from that price point. Rahm, second ranked golfer in the salary last year, started at -6. JT wasn't too far behind him, starting at 11. In 2020, JT was 11-9, so he was the 3rd ranked golfer. That optimal lineup, when we go over it, was hard to get to. I think you had to leave a lot of money on the table. The GPP winning lineup was Dustin Johnson, so he was your top price guy. And you can see 11,000 down to 9,000. Nobody was in the optimal or GPP winning lineup. That's super interesting. And then in 2019, we go by salaries. Rory was your guy in the optimal lineup. He was your 4th ranked salary golfer at 10,600. No one else. I mean, okay, so JT finished 3rd and Brooks Koepka finished 3rd. That's really close. Maybe not so much in total score. Yeah, we can't say that with total score. -13, -13, not super great. Especially when JT started at -10 and Koepka started at -7. I mean, Rory has that potential just to go off like that. So does Xander Schauffele. They both shot really well in that tournament. Both of them are the only ones that got to minus double digits. And no one was even close. Like, what? Look at this. -7, Paul Casey. Wow. And then a lot of people like between, not even a lot of people, or a few people between 6 and 2 under. Everyone else was over par that week. This is a tough golf course. That's another thing to talk about. So scoring isn't super ideal, not super easy. But, you know, Rory had the firepower to do it. Xander had the firepower to do it at -5, -4. If we look at this week and we go by salaries, you know, I think we do have more golfers that have the firepower. Like JT, I think, has the firepower to do that. Cam Young, I think, has it. I would say Hovland does if we had him in like peak prime Hovland from earlier this last year. Otherwise, now I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I really don't think any of these other guys have the firepower to do it. I'd love to believe that Joaquin Neiman can. I just don't think Jordan has it in him this week to shoot really low. Yeah, I don't know. JT would be on that short list. So, I don't even think Sungjae could. Cam Young would be on that short list. Then it's Rory. I don't see anyone else that really has the firepower to shoot like a -10 at that tournament. So I firmly believe one or two of these guys you will want in your lineup. Straight up period. And I think that's where you have to start. Because I almost feel like a lot of these guys down here, $5,000, will be in the optimal lineup, or I shouldn't even say that. I think they're required to be in your lineups. If I sort last year, Kevin Noss, $6,000. Billy Horschel, $5,100. Daniel Berger, $5,800. All your top 11 finishers. We go to 2020. By result, this one was a little bit more even. Actually, you had Sebastian Munoz at $5,900 in the optimal and the GPP winning lineup, as well as Mackenzie Hughes at $5,200. And then there's Aram Answer in the GPP winning lineup at $6,100. So you're going to want that. And 2019, Ches Reavie, $5,100 was in the optimal lineup, but then that was a bit more balanced. Anyways, I shouldn't even get into this right now because I want to get in that with the past optimal lineups. But I guess we just covered the marquee tee times. Again, out of these groups, I'd say pick 2 to 4. Let me just basically all these guys here. If you're using the cheat sheet, have these guys all color coordinated with the dark green with the sweet spot ranks, so you know that they're part of the marquee tee times or even the honorable mentions. You can also filter the way that I just did, or sort the way I did on group rank. Super easy to do it that way. So again, you guys can follow along on the cheat sheet with this, however you'd like. Moving on. Let's get into the buckets. Let's get into the past optimal lineups, because we will talk about the salary buckets. If it might not even be worth it, but we can go over that. So going into past optimal lineups, remember 2019 is where we started the staggered start. 2018 we did not. So there was no starting score, nothing like that. So I think 2019 and on is the only time to look at past optimal lineups. I don't have the GPP winning lineup for this, but I think this is probably your most balanced lineup you can build in any of the tour championships. Probably the most balanced you will ever see. You had a $10,000 Rory McIlroy, $9,500 Xander Schauffele, 2 8K golfers and Adam Scott, Tony Finau, one 7K in Paul Casey, and one $5,000 golfer in Ches Reavie. So that was the optimal lineup in 2019. Then it kind of takes a little bit of a change. And I don't know if this is just because the golfers involved are just different, the people at the top. But Dustin Johnson at $15,200 was in your GPP winning lineup. He was not in the optimal lineup, but the optimal lineup left $3,200 on the table. This is the only week that I'd actually say leave money on the table. If you want the best opportunity to hit the optimal lineup, as well as win a GPP, obviously. But I think you need to be really creative when it comes to building lineup. So DJ was in the optimal, or the GPP winning lineup at 15,000. Then it went down to Xander at 8,900, Guy Scheffler at 7,900, and then a slew of guys at 5,000 and 6K. $6,100 was the highest. Well, I should say this. Of those low salary golfers, 6,100 was the highest. Then it was 59, followed by $5,200. I think that's kind of the lineup build you want to do this week. Now the optimal lineup had Tyrrell Hatton at 7,000, where the GPP winning lineup, I guess what you would do is you'd substitute basically Tyrrell Hatton and JT for DJ and Abram Answer. That's how you get to your optimal lineup. And again, that was like a $15,000. That we've never seen a price tag like that. So 15 was a bit up there. Dropping down to JT, then Xander. It's pretty cheap. So interesting way to get the optimal lineup there. 49,200 is what the GPP winning lineup score used up for salary, and it scored 560 points. Now the optimal lineup scored 562 points. So you can see there's like a $3,000, almost a $3,000. It's like it's $2,400 difference between the optimal lineup and the GPP winning lineup. There's only a 2-point difference. So the only way that you were going to beat the GPP is having the optimal lineup that week. It's super difficult. In 2021, let me hide some of these columns. We don't need to look at the Barbasol or the Barracuda. Your optimal lineup actually only left $200 on the table, and it used a $13,000 golfer. It used an $11,000 golfer, as well as an $8,900 golfer. Then it went 6,000 flat, 58, 51. There, the last 2 years, you kind of saw that trend. Low 6K, high 5K, and then a low 5K to go with two 10K and above golfers, and then an $8,000 golfer, something like that. That is the kind of build that I think I will be seeking out this week for the Tour Championship. And it just happened to also be your GPP winning lineup. So the optimal was the GPP winning lineup. Again, there's only 30 golfers in this field, so there are only so many combinations of lineups you can build. So those are your optimal lineups over the last 3 years. When it comes to salaries, so I have this nice little nifty thing to cover over from 2019, or if I wanted to go all the way back to 2013, I can certainly put that in there. And then that will change the information, but I think I might only have salaries that go back to 20. Oh no, they change. The numbers change. I was like, I didn't see the numbers change. So if we include all years, what I like to just look at is kind of your projections here. Here's your max projection column. So this is up to is this amount of golfers, whereas this one is your minimum projection. This is how many you want and then more. I always round down with your minimum projections. I always round up with your maximum. So this says 4.01. I'd round up to 5. That's how I look at it. So when we change these, so if I don't want all years, I only want 2019 and on, I really don't see much of a change. It actually says furthermore that you want a 10K golfer and above. And if you actually took that away and we included all years, you still wanted a 10K golfer and above. And then the rest of these don't even change. You know, max of 2, minimum of 0. This is not over 2, then your minimum is 0. And I even have kind of a quality check over here just to double check to see if these change at all, and they really don't. Include all years, actually it kind of goes down. So maybe, and by the way, this is me projecting how many golfers are going to be inside the top 10. So a max of 5 golfers. That doesn't mean you want to roster 5 golfers. And it, even in this Tour Championship, it might not even be that important to get all 6 golfers inside the top 10. Because I think, again, you still want to grab enough 5K golfers, 6K golfers to go along with your winning golfer, which is most likely going to be in the 10K and above range. And then some of those other high guys. See, I think it's worth it to go stars and scrubs this week. So those are your salary buckets. Last year buckets, see, I thought about changing this to every 5 positional points. As you can see, it's every 20 in this column right here. So all you're seeing is either they had a top 20 finish or they didn't. And outside of that is, did they play? And if they haven't, they would be in this last year 6 buckets. So there's really only 3 buckets to look at. I don't think it's really all that important. to talk about because anywhere between 3 to 6 golfers who top 20 this event last year. All your best golfers tend to come back to the Tour Championship and top 20 again because there's only 30 golfers in this field. So the last year bucket, not necessarily all that important. I think maybe what it helps is, like bucket 2 says that there are 5 golfers in that bucket and you only want to roster anywhere between 1 to 3. So you wouldn't want to roster all 5 golfers from this bucket. And then likewise for your did not plays, 13 golfers did not play last year in this field. You only want to roster 1 to 3 of these guys. So this is where I like the bucket system because I don't want to roster 6 golfers from this bucket. And if you're not paying attention, which I'm sure it's probably pretty difficult to do that, you'd have to be really contrarian to build a lineup that had no golfers that played in Tour Championship last year. But if you didn't watch out, you could roster anywhere between like 3 to 6 of these guys, and you probably don't want to do that. Actually, let me double check. I wonder how many golfers are low priced that did not play last year. Go ahead and throw freeze on this. Scroll over, and I do have last year the last year score or result, I should say, right here. Okay, so I might actually retract that, and I'm probably going to change that on the optimizer. Last year 6, I only have a max of 3. That's not terrible. Max of 3 is actually okay. Yeah, last year. Okay, maybe I thought ahead. Actually, you know what? I'm okay with that being 3. That is crazy though, because if you think about it, let's say you wanted to go Aaron Wise at 54, which I'm sure a lot of people are going to. Maybe even JT Poston at 51. And then like Adam Scott at 66. Those are all your 3 golfers that did not play last year. Meaning you couldn't roster a Scott Stallings or a sorry about that. A Scott Stallings or a Max Homa. You couldn't do that. You also couldn't add Cam Young, Matt Fitzpatrick to go with either of those 3 golfers, which actually might be a blessing, for being honest. How about this? I'm going to change this to a 4. I'm also going to send it to you as a 4. You can make the determination if you want to change that back to a 3. And then we'll run some lineups here at the end. But that's what I'm saying. Is that's why I like the bucket system, because you can avoid, and perhaps you don't want to have 4 of these guys. It's somewhere in the future I'll be able to analyze this even more, so we can look at some of these low price guys. Look at that. Daniel Berger had played the year before. Billy Horschel had played the year before, as well as Kevin Na with your low price guys. That was in 2021. In 2020, 2 of them, Sebastian Munoz at 59 and Mackenzie Hughes at 52, didn't play the year before, but Abram Answer did. Finished 20th place. And then in 2019, Ches Reavie did not play the year before. He was in the optimal, as was Adam Scott. So only 2 guys that did not play the year before. So yeah, maybe 3 is actually the number we want. I'll keep it 4 and I'll send it to you guys that way. But if you want to change it to 3, it's probably the smart thing to do. Moving on to last week buckets. So these are all golfers that played at the BMW Championship. The wonderful thing about the last week buckets is always looking at the same tournament the week before. So the BMW Championship always preceded this tournament, at least since 2019 and on. BMW, yeah, okay. So that's the wonderful thing about these buckets, is it also looks at the same things, week in and week out. For the tour, I shouldn't say that, just for the Tour Championship for this week, it's wonderful. So your main buckets really are last week 1, 2, 3, and 6 buckets because the 4 and 5 have no golfers in it. Oh, I lied. Because we had a withdraw and that guy is not even playing. That would be Will Zalatoris. Anyways, so these are the 4 buckets you want to be looking at. Some of these are really small, like not a lot of golfers in them. So it's kind of giving you a little bit of a, you know, a risk to look at. So last week 3, for instance, anybody who finished in between that 40 and 60th place finish. There are only 4 golfers in that bucket. Usually we see about 4. Somewhere between 0 to 2 golfers you want to build lineups out of from that. So I think that helps when building lineups because you wouldn't want to put all 4 golfers in that bucket. And I don't even know who's in that bucket currently. You can take a look. Last week. Last week 3s. Justin Thomas, Fitzpatrick, Morikawa, and Hoagie. See, this is, again, that's why I love it. You wouldn't want to put those 3 guys together. Don't put JT, Fitzpatrick, and Morikawa together. I'm sure there will be lineups that do that. The buckets are already telling you, you want 0 to 2 golfers from this bucket. 0 to 2. 0 to 2. So doing any of these combinations, probably just not the right thing to do. Most of them, you want the top 20 finish from the week before. You can actually get up to 6 golfers if you wanted to, if it's even possible. The average salary from this bucket is actually $9,000, so it's probably not doable. 7 of the 15 are 9K and above. So yeah, I don't know if it's doable or not. My actual quality check says you don't want more than 5. So 5 would be the max that you want from this bucket in your lineups. And again, this is my projection of being inside the top 10. So maybe you don't want even 5. Maybe you want like, 3 minimum. Maybe even 2. I have to look into how this all works out with salaries because I'm just starting to get into analyzing salaries for each of these buckets to see if it's even doable. That's why I kind of have this shaded as a red just to kind of alert me like, hey, the average salary in this bucket's pretty large. You might not be able to fit the projections in. I think if we see this as a red, we just go down by 1. So instead of this being a minimum projection of 4, actually, maybe it's the minimum projection of 2. Here's maybe what we do. We take the quality check over here, the 4.99, which is a max projection of 5. We minus 1 right away. And then the minimum's always 2 points behind the max. How about that? I think that works. So somewhere between 2 to 4. I don't currently have minimum set for the last week ones. I don't have minimum set for any of these buckets. You guys can play around with that if you want, but I have everything at a 0. So really up to you guys. But yes, so these are your minimum projections and maximum projections for your last week finishes. Course history is a big deal. Having good course history helps a lot. There are 10 golfers 9K and above in this course history 1, so that's that 1 to 20 range. So an average finishing position of 20th place. We haven't seen less than 6 inside the top 10 every single year. That's no surprise because these are your best golfers, and our quality check even says you want at least 6, or not at least 6. You want a max of 7 really because you round up. So it's pretty darn close to this already. And if we're going to go 2 points underneath that, that's 5. Maybe what we can do is, again, our average salary is over $9,000, minus 1 from this. So our projection's really 4 to 6 golfers you want. And that's kind of what it's already at. So 4 to 6 golfers with that course history 1. There are 17 golfers in that bucket. And the salary is super expensive. But I think that's worthwhile. And then course history 2, really nothing there. Having 0 course history, we actually have a 1 to 3 as a projection. So keep that in mind. So just never playing this isn't actually a terrible thing. And really the last bucket to look at, I guess we didn't go over strokes gained buckets. So we'll go over recent form really quickly here. It's pretty all over the place, you know, either 1 to 2 as a minimum projection, and then anywhere between 2 to 5. Remember, round up here, round down here. Pretty open, to say the least. And nothing is maxed at 6. However, that recent form 2 actually is pretty good. So keep that in mind. Again, you can follow along with the cheat sheet. I have everything loaded in these columns here for your strokes gained buckets, your course history buckets, recent form, last year, last week. If you follow along with the projections, I think you can create some good lineups based off of that. Or just ask for the optimizer because it's already all built in. You can see that same information over here with the buckets. And then I have all my conditionals set right here. Your mins and your well, just your maxes, not your mins. Minimums for mins, maximums for maxes. So the last bucket to look at would be your strokes gained buckets. And it's no surprise having the best golfers in your lineup helps. This again is shaded red. So I would take this quality check, which is 4.73. That rounds up to 5. We round down to, actually, we -1 from that. So we get to a 4. That's the maximum projection. And then we go 2 underneath that for a minimum. So to me, I think you want 2 to 4 golfers that have a strokes gained 1 as their bucket for strokes gained, or has a 1 bucket for their strokes gained stats. So again, if you're on the cheat sheet, you get a strokes gained and just go to 1 and find 2 to 4 golfers you want to build your lineups around. No surprise, I see Scotty Scheffler and Patrick Cantlay here. They're your top 2 golfers, but then Schauffele and Rory. So it's really easy for me to consider 2 of these guys because that's where I want to go. And then like Aaron Wise, I like JT Poston. No, I like a lot of these guys. But here's the wonderful thing. If I'm kind of capping myself out at 4, I actually would probably cap myself out at 5. So I don't mind going 2 to 5. Have that down here. Yes, strokes gained 5. I only have 5 as the maximum. So yeah, I don't mind doing that. Going to 5 as my maximum, as opposed to the quality check over here. I don't know how I feel about that. The rest of the strokes gained buckets, you want anywhere between 0 to 2. And strokes gained 4, there's only 1 golfer in there. That's Cameron Smith, 0 to 1. So it's either you do want Cam Smith or you don't. Pretty simple. And I probably have to look at my quality checks, because if we are including something higher than 1, probably not good. I think this incorporates salary. Actually, it incorporates the SweetSpot score, and it's more on averages than it is total score. So yeah, I might have to look into this with the quality check. Those are all your buckets though. So if we wanted to find our anchor buckets, what I would do is really just go into your max. I don't even know if we can. I don't think we can. I don't think there's a such thing as anchor buckets this week. It's all strategy. All strategy based off of different roster construction. So let's go ahead. Let's bring the optimizer up. I think what I want to tell the optimizer is this section right here. I know that might be really difficult for you guys to see. Let me just zoom in. So this section is my 6K range. So 6.5, this little minus means anything less than 6.5, which includes KH Lee and the rest of the 5K range. See right here. Otherwise, it's, Adam Scott, Theegala, and Billy Horschel as the other 2 golfers, and really I probably should only include 1 of them. I'm a firm believer of what we've seen with past optimal lineups, that you do want probably 3 golfers in this range. I'm actually changing that back to a 2. You probably do want 3 golfers in that 6K and below range. And again, that includes Billy Horschel at 6'9" and below. Personally, I think a lot of people are probably going to go to Adam Scott, which I think very reasonable. And then picking two of these golfers, I think is going to be super helpful. And I don't think it's Tom Hoge. I think it's Aaron Wise or JT Poston. Pair him up with Adam Scott and maybe actually any one of these golfers, I would say a very good choice to go with. And I think choosing three of these guys is probably the way to go. So you can guarantee I will have every single combination of these golfers together with someone up here. Two guys up there, most likely. That's how I'm going to build my lineups. So with that already set in place, I'm actually going to change my minimum salary, I would say, to $49,000. There's only been 1 year where we've seen it less than $49,000, and that was that JT year where he was in the optimal lineup. Was that 2019? No, 2020. And yeah, JT was the optimal. DJ was not, but in the GPP winning lineup used over 49,000. So I'm okay with starting at a minimum salary of 49. You guys can't see that there, but you can now. And I'm gonna run optimize. So let me go ahead and put in, I want at least 3 6K golfers and below. So when I do that, I have not set up anyone to be locked. Let's see what the most optimal lineup is. Let me zoom out a little bit. Rom at 10.9, Rory at 10.8, JT at 9.4, Billy Horschel at 69, Adam Scott at 66, and Aaron Wise at 54. That's interesting. Now, I don't want to see all those high 6K golfers. Let's go ahead and rerun this. So now we won't see 2 high 6K golfers. We'll just see 1 at most, and it's Adam Scott. See, this is what I was looking for. This is what I like to see. Cantlay, McIlroy, Hovland, Adam Scott, Brian Harman, Aaron Wise. I'm sure that lineup will actually be used quite a bit. Here's what I want to do. Let's take out Hovland. Let's see what it'll run. Now goes Xander. Xander, Rory, JT, Adam Scott, Aaron Wise, JT Post. I wouldn't be surprised if that is your optimal winning lineup right there. Leaving $400 on the table, incorporating 3 6K and below guys, and then powerhouses. Xander, Rory, JT. It's a really sexy lineup. Take that out, and let's say we don't want... See, I want JT in that lineup. How about no Xander? I actually like Xander this week, so it's hard to say no to Xander. Cantlay, Sungjae Im. That's okay with Sungjae. I don't mind that. That's using up all 50,000. I might have already put that in as my dummy lineup, actually. I might even keep that. That's a pretty good looking lineup. Ooh. So we cancel out Sungjae and Hovland. And with that, now we go Cantlay, McIlroy, Morikawa, Scott, Harman, and Aaron Wise. We go ahead and lock in Scotty. Where do we go from there? It changes from, because we had $600 left on the table. It just chose that same lineup. That's cool. I'm not going to build any more lineups because then I'm giving you guys a little too much. Okay. This is the last tournament of the year, meaning this is the last podcast of the season. I should say this. It's not the last tournament of the year. It's the last tournament of the season, the 2020 season. 2022 season, sorry. So that means this is the last SweetSpotDFS podcast for the 2022 season. I'm not going to do a prize picks video this week. All I would say is go and play prize picks because that is what I'm not entitled. That's what I'm contracted to say. To do a prize picks video, we can consider this a prize picks video. Here's what you can expect from me. So I'm kind of thinking about creating a couple different videos. kind of going over strokes gain stats again, because I don't think anyone in this industry actually knows how to analyze strokes gain stats correctly. I mean, I see a lot of the leading people, industry leaders, if you want to call them that, say some weird things when it comes to strokes gain stats. So I will probably create a video on that. There have been a lot of strategy videos I've been wanting to create, but here's the big thing with me. Let me throw up some goals that I had from the beginning of the year. See if I remember how to do it. So season-long goals. See, I think I need to click this. Season goals, perfect. First goal, build a database. We have not yet built a database. I mean, we are building a database, but it has not yet been built. So goal number 1 has not been met. This is what I intend to do, is build this database before I record another DFS video, like a DFS tournament video. So the first one lined up would be the Fortinet Championship 2 weeks after the end of this one. If I've not yet built a database for that, I'm not going to do a full-on video for that. I might do a video just to retain viewership, but I am not. This is my primary goal right here. I want to build a database because I want to build a website. I don't know if that's goal number 2. Publish the web. Yeah. I have been in talks with people to build a website for me, but I haven't pulled the trigger because I haven't built the database yet. So season goals, these 2 have not yet been met. And when I actually published these goals, I was working hard on putting everything together for a database. There's only a few things that I really need to put together. I mean, it's basically creating the tables for the database. If you don't know anything about a database, I apologize. This is going to bore you, but tables run everything in a database. You link tables up with other tables through different fields. And I just haven't figured out a correct mapping of doing that, because I'm kind of a perfectionist, and I want to show everything that I want to see. I can kind of create a little paralysis by analysis, and I'll get to a certain point and then just stop and not pick it up for months. That's kind of what's happened with this database and website. The Mexico Open was the last time I made headway. I got all the way up to the Mexico Open, and then I think I needed like 2 more tournaments before I caught up. Like, I could probably start building a database now. But then I started realizing I don't have the data the way I want it. So that's kind of the issue that I keep falling into. It's nothing to do with you guys, but I need to put my head down and just get the stuff done. And putting out these videos week in and week out is very time consuming. And there's a bit of burnout that has come with this, as you can imagine. So I just want to get that done and maybe take a little bit of time off just to like recharge the batteries, and then hopefully hit you guys with something brand new that you guys haven't seen before. That'll give me more time to work on this podcast and make everything you see a little bit more fun. If you follow along with the Fantasy Golf Pod, I brought up this before, where I've thought about kind of incorporating some of the video game streamer stuff into my videos. So it would be like cutscenes and just fun things to add that'll engage. Maybe I'll even have like a soundtrack in the background, so it's not just dead noise and then me talking. Again, building the database, publishing the website will give me more time to actually do these things. At least that's what I think it'll do, and it'll provide more of a better viewer experience, if you can say that. Let's see what our third goal was. Reach 1,000 subscribers. We haven't even reached 500 yet, so we haven't reached half of this goal. It's a lofty goal. I can tend to create lofty goals, so maybe we'll keep that for next season. Fourth goal, find one. We were so close. Right away, Tournament of Champions. I had the third most optimal lineup in a contest. I was 2 golfers away. I think I had 5 of the guys you needed, and the other guy was the 3rd highest scoring golfer at its price point. I think I had like a $6,400 golfer. I'd have to go back and take a look, but if I had replaced him with a different 6K golfer that was in the optimal lineup, I would have had it. So we were super close. 5th goal, win a GPP. Have not yet done that, but I've won a lot of money this year. Won a bunch of big contests. Already withdrew $600, like $599, because in the state of Minnesota, once you get 600, you gotta fill out a 1099-C. So we just left it at $599 because I don't want to pay taxes on winning that money. And I actually don't know how it works for DraftKings. Like, does it count how much money you put in versus how much you win? You know, that kind of stuff. So I don't know. But either way, I was playing with house money this whole year. I'll be completely transparent. This was the first week since the Tournament of Champions that I deposited money into my account. The first week. And that's with me withdrawing money throughout the year. So it was a very successful year, minus not winning a GPP. Didn't find the optimal lineup, but we got close. So I think maybe we just keep these goals for next year. I should say this. I'm probably in the off season going to definitely scratch off goal number 1 because that will be done. I already told you I am not going to record a DFS tournament video until I actually build the database. With that being said, publishing the website, that's not going to be in my hands anymore. So I'll probably just take that out of here because I'm going to pay someone to do it. But yeah, building a database has to be the first one. And then that website comes right after. So goals 3, 4, and 5, I think we just continue on being the season goals for 2023. That season. And yeah, that's it. That's all that I have. So I don't... those are the updates. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to talk about. I don't think so. Congratulations to Shot Like Harden for winning the giveaway. You win $30, so contact me. And again, cheat sheet that we went through this whole video, I talked about it. That's available for you guys. So is the optimizer. You gotta be subscribed to the channel for the optimizer. Comment down below if you need a topic. Give me your 2 favorite golfers you're building your lineups around this week. Yeah, I think the next time you will see me, you'll see me on the Fantasy Golf Pod tomorrow night. But outside of maybe some strategy videos, there's a likelihood you'll see me at the Fortinet Championship with a full DFS and strategy video. Most likely it'll be just combined, a preview and strategy, and it'll be really quick, going throughout everything that I possibly can, hopefully within like 20-30 minutes. Again, the main focus is building the database. So maybe you won't see me at the Fortinet Championship. You might not see me for a month. I don't know. I have no idea. Again, the focus is the database, the website. I want these things up and running before I get back into podcasting. So once I do, you'll know the database has been finished. Website is in motion, if not already published. So hopefully it'll all be more exciting once I come back. Thank you for everyone who has subscribed this whole season. I think, gosh, I don't even remember. Let me double check. I'll go look to see what we went from. I'm gonna have to watch a video though. That's the, I don't know if I can do that while I'm talking to you. I'm gonna go all the way down to see the Tournament of Champions. Let's do that. Tournament of Champions. God, I had a Bryson thumbnail. Isn't that sad? That Bryson's no longer playing. And let's double check. We were at 263 subscribers 263 subscribers at the Tournament of Champions, and now we're at 455. So we almost gained a full 200 subscribers. That's pretty good, guys. Appreciate all you guys subscribing and girls, and participating on the channel. This has been a lot of fun. I absolutely love and enjoy podcasting, golf, going over the unique way that I tackle DFS, and trying to be as completely transparent as I possibly can for you guys, so you're not bamboozled with the other people in the industry. That's all that I have. So thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.